What's going on, boys? It's me, Rye, and I've got another drama-filled video for you. Not the entertaining kind, in my opinion, but one where I'm kind of forced to defend myself, and to be honest, it's my least favorite type of video to make. I've only ever done this once before. About a year ago, I really try to avoid these situations, and I really wanted to avoid this situation. I really did not want to talk about this at all. I kind of wanted to just ignore it. That being said, it is kind of being blown way out of proportion at this point. And there are a lot of people that are like, reposting my video, taking myself out of context, not really even, watching the whole video at this point, and just kind of making a lot of assumptions about me. And it's just gotten to the point where I have to say something, right? I have to say something. Everyone's just hungry for more drama. And this is the only video I'm going to make on the subject. This is the only time I'm going to bring it up on stream. I'm not going to constantly talk about it on stream. And, just like last time, this video is not monetized in any way. I don't want to make money off, silly drama like this. But it is one of those things that you kind of have to, if you don't talk about it on the internet, people just kind of stampede all over you. It's just one of those growing pains of being a YouTube channel, I suppose. For those who are completely out of the loop, I would highly recommend you don't watch this video, actually. I would highly recommend you just go about your day and wait for my next entertaining video to come out. My goal when I make videos is to entertain you guys, not to, I don't want to farm drama clicks or anything like that. I just don't think that's the way a YouTube video should, or a YouTube channel should be run, rather, especially when it's kind of stupid, YouTube beef. I don't think that's worth it, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. But to those who are in the loop and know what's going on, basically another YouTuber / Twitch streamer, DistantCoder, reacted to my video where I was talking about the DC Cup and how the DC Cup was, a failure by Konami and a long string of failures since it was literally copy and pasted from the KC Cup. I feel like that video didn't have any controversial takes in it. It was just me kind of memeing on Konami, as I usually do, and then at the end, the person who took advantage of the exploit was permanently banned from our tournaments. I feel like that isn't exactly the hot stance to take on the situation. But Coder saw my video and decided to react to it live on stream. And I guess the way I was misrepresented the entire time just left a sour taste in my mouth. And I truly did try to avoid talking about it. I truly avoided trying to, create more drama than it needed to be created. Just wish it was, people just went their separate ways. He could have just criticized me and my actions. Instead, he decided to be more malicious towards it. And, of all the people I've seen react to that video, this reaction is by far the one I don't really like, the type that I don't want to engage with. Pretty much everyone else that I have seen that has reacted to this video just criticized my actions, which is fair. That's totally okay. I can take criticism in my actions. But beyond that is where I start to have a problem and where I need to say something, right? Because I'm being misrepresented. So I figured the best way to do this, really the only way to do this, is to go through his video and take his criticisms one by one, dish out my own criticism, and just kind of go from there. Again, I want to say before we get started, do not harass DistantCoder. Do not go... You don't have to have the same opinion I have. If you don't have my opinion, that's okay. But do not, under any circumstance, go and harass this guy. If you want to help support me, just avoid him. That's all. I just ask you to avoid him. Don't comment on his YouTube videos. Don't, leave nasty messages in his Twitch. I don't think that helps anybody. He did not give the same disclaimer when he had my video on his stream, and that caused a lot of his fans to come over to our channel for the first time. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching this video now. Hello. I hope you stick around and actually enjoy content rather than drama. I think drama sucks. and I hope that you you can just vibe and chill out. And if you don't, I just prefer you don't watch my videos. So let's get into it. We're gonna go step by step by step, see what he says, what he criticizes, and then respond to it step by step by step. I skipped the first little portion of the video because he doesn't really react. He just kind of is watching the video with making small offhand remarks I don't really think or mean anything. So if you want to watch that, you're more than welcome to go find the VOD and watch the first little bit. I'm more interested in when he starts reacting to what I'm actually saying. That is what I want to kind of cover with this video. So let's get into it. Over and over.
What do you
especially
do?
from what he's
You
shown
play
in
floodgates.
this screenshot. If you get the same person over and over and over, if you yourself just have access to 2 Xboxes and have VPN, you could have abused this system. And even if this individual did not abuse it, I am 100% sure of the top 100, at least one motherfucker has done that. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This genuinely feels like someone who is extremely salty that he ended with like not a whole lot of duelist points, and is like, oh my god, this guy cheated. He played on Xbox. Dude, Xbox. It's like a Game Shark, bro. An Xbox is a Game Shark. It's the same thing. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. That literally doesn't. Okay, don't get me wrong. He's right on one thing. Yes, realistically, if you're playing on Xbox,
you play floodgates.
and the only people you play against are other Xbox gamers, most likely, if you're a good player, you will not be facing as many good players. That's true. I can agree to that. That there is an extent at which, you know, you will play against less good players. But I don't feel like it changes that much. Like, I really don't think so.
The fact. So 2 points here that we have to kind of talk about. The first point that he made is that I'm very upset that I ended very poorly in DC Cup. It's very unfortunate that he makes this point because later in the video he's going to talk about, you know, doing research on before I say things in my videos. And while this isn't a video, this is him kind of just talking live in a live stream segment. You know, he is also guilty of not doing research. So I have not played in the DC Cup at all for 2 reasons specifically. One, I'm extremely anti-KC Cup. For those that know me from my Duel Links days, well, I still do Duel Links, but for my Duel Links competitive days, I have an extremely high competitive drive. I actually really, really enjoy competitive games. There's always at least one competitive game in my life, and Duel Links was that game for the longest time where I was top 100 multiple times. Both in terms of worlds and you know, local KC Cups and whatnot. So, you know, in terms of skill level and whatnot, if I wanted to, I could do well in these DC Cups. I choose not to play in them because I'm extremely against the KC Cup status. I don't like the format, and I don't like how people basically kill themselves over 3 days to try and place very well. The second point that I didn't play in actually came from a video that I posted 1 week, not even 1 week before this video. So, you know, it's not exactly ancient news. It's a very, very recent video where I talked about my long absence. That's correct. For people who have been watching my content, not even for a while, they noticed my streams and my daily YouTube content have been dwindling over the past 2 months or so. And this was due to my grandfather's passing. I talked about it, you know, if you don't believe me, you can go watch the video. It's still up on the channel. And I talked about how I'm now in a better place to try and come back to kind of the daily uploads and the more daily streams. And I'll be honest, I'm still not really there. This week, I didn't do as many streams as I wanted in preparation for Worlds. And we're kind of, you know, I'm kind of in that in-between space. So I literally could not play DC Cup. I haven't even played Master Duel in the last 2 months or Duel Links or many video games to begin with. I've kind of just been keeping to myself and my family. So, you know, the fact that he would even make that point at all of me just shows, you know, his complete lack of knowledge and kind of immediately insulting me without really knowing anything about me, even though it wouldn't have taken much research to go figure out that had, you know, that I simply did not play in DC Cup. There's just I was in no position to even do so if I wanted to play in DC Cup. So yes, I did not end with very many duelist points. In fact, I didn't even qualify for the second stage because I haven't even launched the app in like 2 months. I've launched it, I think, on the weekends to host our tournaments. That's about it, to be honest. The other point that he makes is he doesn't see there being, he relates the Xbox to like a Game Shark or he's cheating and whatnot. And I do say later in the video that the cheating is all alleged, right? And it's more that the exploit is kind of the more immediate concern. Whether or not he cheated is kind of up in the air. The only thing that's confirmed is that he cheated in the past. That's pretty much it, right? That being said, even if we ignore the straight up cheating portion and looked at just using the exploit, that still goes against the spirit of competition when it comes to, an esports title that Konami is trying to build, right? Or any sport or any competitive game. Doing something like this goes against the competitive spirit of the game. And I think that in itself is worthy enough to call someone out on unethical play, if you will. So there you go. That Konami cannot even set up a proper shit esport tournament. This is like the lowest bare minimum, an ELO based tournament with duelist points to have a competitive worlds tournament later. The fact that they can't even program this correctly is just holy shit. I cannot believe that they allowed you to turn off crossplay for most of Duelist Cup.
Okay, so he's baby raging now. Cool, baby rage.
And so many people were able to farm points off. Even if the whole using multiple consoles with a VPN thing doesn't end up being kind of, like the worst of it, the fact that you can even turn off crossplay to begin with is absolutely insanity to me. To just decide that I'm not going to play against, 75% of the community this Casey Cup is such a huge advantage that you now have that no one else has. Which is absolute bonkers. You should not be able to do that no matter the situation. That option should have 100% be able to turn off. That option should not even exist. Why would you ever turn off crossplay to begin with in a game that RNG places you with people? That makes no sense to me.
I mean, you would turn off crossplay because sometimes crossplay can cause connectivity issues. That's why games have the option to turn off crossplay. A lot of games have the option to turn off crossplay for that exact reason. So him saying, why should you even be able to turn it off? That's the reason why. Please look into why that feature exists rather than, to complain about like, oh, why can you turn this off and blah blah blah, you know what I mean? It's forced by the consoles, not Konami. That's also a thing, yeah. When your game is on multiple platforms, a lot of times the platforms will allow your game to be on their console with certain exceptions or certain conditions and stuff like that. And the reason why is because they ask for the crossplay to be able to be turned off. So yeah.
That option should. So those are not reasons to turn off or have crossplay being, a feature to turn off. That's just simply not true. I play a lot of video games outside of Duel Links and Yugioh Master Duel. Yu-Gi-Oh is only one portion of my life, and to me, making content creation is a passion of mine. But to be completely honest, it's probably not always going to just be Yu-Gi-Oh. My basic point is I play a lot of fucking games, right? So you can't really turn off crossplay in a lot of games, at least the ones that I play, especially ones that have competition. This definitely feels more like an excuse that Coder made up on the spot, and it's very disappointing for him to tell me to do research when I've already shown you he doesn't do his own research, and he's definitely going to further not show research. This is also at the point in the video where I kind of started not really wanting to engage with the guy, and I didn't really want to watch any more of the video until recently, where a lot of people have been kind of pushing me to say something or have pinging me and consistently keep bringing things up and taking me out of context. This is where the personal insults start to come out as well, saying that I'm going to baby rage and he's going to say much worse things later in the video. And I think it's okay. We always have a saying at DLE: it's okay to criticize the plays, not the players, right? It's to say it's okay to say, that thing that you did was stupid, but it's not really okay to say that person is stupid. That's when you kind of cross a line, and it goes into that malicious territory where it's you're not really being a good person anymore. you're not really criticizing, you know, I guess in this case, me banning the guy from tournament play. You're now personally attacking that person. And is it really something you want to be doing? I don't know if he meant to attack me as a person, but that's definitely how it comes off. And it doesn't feel good. I'll be honest with you guys. It does not feel good. Should be 100% removed. Now, again, another screenshot showing all Xbox users. So, and, you know, obviously some people in here are multiple times second account, kind of suspicious. Second accounts. I'm just saying, super sus. And yeah, final thing to say about this Guerra person. Apparently he says that he's a decent player, but tournaments like
I'm a decent player, but tournaments like.
Also, something I completely forgot to mention, if your game has to turn off crossplay to get better connectivity, that game needs to be reworked from like the code up. That's just an awful excuse. There's just in no universe is that a proper excuse. That's just I don't know what that was.
It's like GG Tor and Damage Step. It's basically who has better hand wins. What does this have to do with anything?
GG Tour and Damage Step, basically whoever has the best. So what this has to do is these are the tournaments that I run, and this individual, even if he did not cheat, basically openly said that he exploited the game. And any tournament organization where someone just rats themselves out and says, I exploited the game, you're going to get banned for that. I'm sorry, you know. There is a whole appeals process to that. And this person, as well as anyone else that has been banned in the past, in the 2-3 years that we've been doing this, is more than welcome to come and appeal. And I'm sure this guy will appeal in the future when all this is irrelevant, you know, drama. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. So there you go. Better hand wins. Well, that's okay, Guerra, because you are not a decent player. Decent players would not result to exploitation and cheating in order to win tournament games. And you don't have to worry about GG Tour and Damage Step because you're permanently banned from all daily events. Hey, Konami fucked up by allowing you to use those options, but you willingly going out and using those options knowing that they're an exploit still makes you a fucking cheater in my book. See you later, bud. Get out of here.
Okay, this guy is an absolute man-child. Who is this idiot? DLE? Haven't I hosted these guys before? I thought these guys were, like, respectable. This guy's actually a fucking moron. Okay, I'm sorry. This dude making this video actually is a fucking idiot. Like, why are you saying this sort of shit? Like, how the fuck are you gonna be watching this and be like, oh yeah, dude, you're not a decent player. Fucking guy finishes top 1. Like, yeah, you get an exploit, which at the end of the day was not made illegal or anything like that. Like, I'm sorry that you are absolutely baby raging and molding at someone who is most likely 10 times your skill. Most likely.
So, what have we learned today, chat? What we have learned. So 2 things there. Again, personal insults, I think, have no place and actually make your arguments and criticisms especially weaker. In my opinion, when you go and insult someone, it's because you don't really have anything that you can kind of bring to the table to kind of counteract any sort of argument or any points. It's just kind of, well, I don't know what else to do, so I'm going to insult you. Ignoring that point, though, in terms of this individual being more skilled than me and being, you know, in first place, I'll be completely honest. I don't think this individual could have gotten first place if he didn't use this exploit or alleged cheating or whatever he did, right? Let's just do the bare minimum and say the exploit, because we know he used the exploit at the bare minimum. We know he only went up against Xbox-only players, right? Realistically, you know, just using our basic intuition, right? Basic knowledge, basic common sense as human beings, realistically, he would not be in first place. That's all I really have to say about that. In terms of this individual being a better player than me, it has never really been a secret that I am not the best Master Duel player, nor am I the best TCG player. I've actually gone on record saying this multiple times because when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, I stopped playing in middle school, and I did not touch Yu-Gi-Oh! Again for almost 20 years, you know, when Duel Links came out. And that's when I was reintroduced to Yu-Gi-Oh! And then first introduced into the competitive league. I am not exactly, you know, like attacking my skill level at the game isn't really going to accomplish anything because I myself admit that I'm not that great at the game. What I do excel at is teaching people Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? I feel like a lot of especially TCG streamers and YouTubers, they talk to new players in a way as if they already play card games or they play TCG or whatever. So, you know, a lot of my videos on Master Duel that were educational and were heavily researched, right? I did a lot of ladder games. I got a lot of help from other good TCG players, people who have won, worlds events, people who did well, in their regionals, stuff like that, and then took that knowledge and made a video that was approachable to new players. So in terms of my personal skill level, yeah, it's not the greatest. But I don't really understand why we're attacking that at all. When I myself have said in the past numerous times that I am not the greatest Master Duel player. Now, when it comes to Duel Links, that's a different story. I was actually competitive at that game at one point, and to be honest, if I picked it back up, I have no doubt in my mind I could be a top tier player in that game. But that's because I have results to back that up, right? So I can kind of confidently say within myself that I can do that. I don't really want to get competitive in Master Duel. I think Master Duel is being poorly managed by Konami and doesn't really have a competitive future unless they very much so revamp the game. So criticizing my skill level, it's just, again, I don't really understand why someone would even try to say that I am angry this X person is better than me. I simply am not. That's really all I can say about that. That Konami cannot code a game to save their life. We know Konami will never make Master Duel in esports. That's not gonna fucking happen. And we have
Congratulations, you have burnt every single bridge you could have potentially ever had with Konami. Congratulations, my
learned that every single Duelist Cup and So this part's probably my favorite part of the video because, again, no research being done. So anyone that's watched my videos, anyone that's watched my streams, knows I am extremely anti-Konami. I would actually challenge people to go find someone that is as anti-Konami as I am. I've said this, I've talked about this several times, but I'll say this again, that I have been in contact with a Konami representative. I have been offered Konami sponsorships / opportunities that, if I'm being completely honest, a lot of these guys would be extremely jealous if they knew what those opportunities were that I was provided. But it came with the condition that we could not host cash-based prizes anymore because that is a bulk of our content that is on the Twitch channel. You don't really see as much of that on the YouTube. YouTube's kind of where we entertain you guys, and Twitch is kind of where we do the more, competitive stuff, if you will. But I talk about this all the time on the live Twitch stream. And I chose not to do that. I chose to stay with the community. Providing that service to you guys was more important than, getting to, cast this for Konami once a year, or getting a prize from Konami, or getting a sponsorship. It just isn't worth it to me, right? So to say that I lost my chance to work with Konami or burn my bridges with Konami, that's happened forever ago. If you watch a lot of, I literally have a series on YouTube where I call out Konami on their mistakes, blame them for those mistakes, and I know Konami, at least a couple people at Konami. I don't know if they're higher up or anything, but I know their representatives. I know they are aware of these videos, and whether or not they influence them to change things in the game, I really can't tell you. But I do know that at least they know of it. So yeah, I am extremely anti-Konami. At this point, it's not even Yu-Gi-Oh! It's Konami as a whole. They've mistreated their properties, Silent Hills, Metal Gear Solid, etc., etc. If anything, Konami has burned their bridge with me specifically. I would never take a Konami sponsorship at this point, even if they offered it, which they did, and I turned it down. So for him to say this is kind of hilarious, because people who even know me at the most basic level know me as the guy that just calls Konami out on all their bullshit. So there you go. Single KC Cup will be followed up with drama. Chat, we should do a drama tier list for all the drama that has happened for every KC Cup. I think that would be fucking amazing. Let me know down in the comments down below if that's something you'd like to watch.
That's a good way to kill your channel.
Enjoying this round of drama, and let me know. I find this hilarious that he says that's a good way to kill your channel, because he himself, DistantCoder, this is not the first time he's tried to kind of create fabricated drama, I guess. he has done this several times within the span of not even a month. So at this point, it's just kind of funny to see. No, drama actually does very, very well on YouTube, which is why I tend to try to avoid it when it comes to interpersonal drama between YouTubers. I prefer to have drama that's related around Konami's fuck-ups or drama about cheating or something like that. Anything that's more interpersonal between two individual people, especially when it's YouTubers or Twitch streamers or whatever the case, is just very uncomfortable, very cringy, if you will. And if we're being completely honest, and I know Coder knows this, drama sells a lot. If I put monetization on this video, which I am not monetizing this video, it would probably be my top earning video in terms of money. That's just kind of how things are. Should it be that way? Absolutely not. I think that sucks that that's kind of how our culture is. But it is what it is. I'm still going to make that video, by the way. That was the video that I was actually working on before I had to stop and make this video. So there you go. Your Duelist Cup experiences. Actually, let's do that. You guys let me know your Duelist Cup experiences down in the comments. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video reading some of those comments.
Okay, yeah, no. Oh, he wants to make a follow-up video. Yeah, he knows this is good views. He knows it's good views. You guys say Farfa on his VOD spoke to the guy? I want to see this. I want to see this.
That's pretty much where the video ends. I think he says, like, one other thing about me. It's just personal insults at that point. That's pretty much all that's really important in terms of what he said directly about me. Now, in terms of me knowing this is good views, I like to entertain first amongst anything that I do. I do have an analytical side as well from the power rankings and, stuff like that. But that's really the only time you'll ever see me not try to entertain you as a crowd, right? For me, if I make you laugh, that is perfect for me. That's all I need, right? I'm not trying to go out of my way to call people out or do anything like, and I don't do that kind of drama stuff, right? When it comes to these types of videos, and in terms of making follow-up videos, I'm more concerned of what will Konami do, the big billion-dollar company, where if I poke them, it's just this faceless company that no one's really getting hurt, right? It's Konami. It's a giant company, right? It's not like I'm going to constantly just put this individual player, Guerra, on blast every single video with follow-up videos and drama tier lists and stuff like that. That's not really how it works. That being said, when I do put a video out, yes, I know it's what a good video if this video will get good views, right? Something like DC Cup drama videos that will get good views because that's something that just happened. You know what I mean? So there's no surprise. That's the same reason that he made. He looked at this in the Twitch stream. It's the same reason that a bunch of people are making videos about the very same topic. No, it's just kind of straightforward. I don't really know why the personal insults have to be thrown in there. So I guess to recap the whole thing, I'm extremely disheartened with how DistantCoder handled this. I don't think there's anything wrong with criticizing my videos or criticizing my actions, but I do think there is something wrong when it comes to personally attacking or maliciously attacking someone kind of out of the blue. I don't really know this guy. Yes, he's hosted me once. I've hosted him a couple times. That's really it. I've never spoken to him. He really has no reason to personally attack me, yet he chose to personally attack me. And that's kind of where I crossed the line in terms of talking to someone. There's no issue whatsoever if he criticized my actions or criticized my video. I have no issues in terms of that. That's just criticism. I can take criticism. I can talk about criticism in a polite, civil way. But when you start throwing out the personal insults, then it just debunks your entire argument. It debunks all of the stuff that you're trying to do, and just kind of reduces you to a nasty person, right? Almost a condescending person. And no one wants to really deal with that, in my opinion. I don't really know Coder that well. Of what I knew about him, I thought he was pretty chill person, pretty cool person. And I am very disappointed to see him act in this manner. And it's not just to me, it's to a lot of people in the community. He's done this to in the past. I don't need to say any names. You guys know who I'm talking about. And a lot of it is just kind of, in my opinion, blown way out of proportion from what it should be. Coder, I would love to talk to you in private so we can maybe reach, an understanding with one another. I'm not making any more follow-up videos. I'm not going to talk about this on stream anymore. Even if he responds to this video directly, I will not talk about it publicly anymore. It isn't worth my time. It is silly drama, and it's just not worth my time. When we act like this in terms of our viewers, I'm sure you guys saw his chat up there and how gross and disgusting they were with their comments. The more malicious and the more malicious, that's just the best word to use for it, the personal insults you throw out is going to make your chat more toxic. They're impressionable people. You don't know who's in your chat. You could have, a 25-year-old, you could have a 13-year-old in your chat. You really don't know. And those people don't think, right? The moment you say something negative with a video up on your screen, if you physically don't tell those people, do not attack this person, they will go attack that person. The amount of DMs I've gotten from your fans, the amount of negative feedback we've gotten in our comments section, and all these things that have there's no criticism to take. It's just people reaching out to be nasty towards me. It's just not cool. And I'm honestly tired of it. And if you're here to try and provoke me for that, I'm just going to ask you to stop. It's just simply how it is. That's all I have to say about this. I don't know how long this video will be up. Maybe forever. Maybe I'll take it down. I don't know. Again, I don't like making these types of videos. I went a whole year without having to make this type of video. This is actually my least favorite part of YouTube. I think the Yu-Gi-Oh community on Twitch and on YouTube is so small compared to every other gaming community, yet we fight a lot. And you look at other communities and they are very wholesome to one another. And a lot of the streamers are constantly, working together to bring entertainment to people, which I think is what we should focus on. Entertainment to you guys, the fans, and not this silly drama. I think this is completely unacceptable as a community. This is not something we should want Yu-Gi-Oh to be. We shouldn't have people who have a large platform talk to other people in this manner. It's absolutely disgusting. I would never do this to a fellow Yu-Gi tuber. I would not bring up their content and talk to them in such a negative way. I'm not against criticism. Again, if he did the other people that have criticized my videos from the Yu-Gi tubing community, I personally did not find anything wrong with what they said. But this was unacceptable in my opinion. And yeah, just if all you want is drama, if you are a Coder fan and all you want is drama, just please stop DMing me, stop sending me hateful messages. Enough is enough. All right, just enough is enough. This drama's silly. This is all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to talk about it on stream. Don't ask me about it. Thank you. To all my fans that are here for my real content, I'm sorry I had to do this again. I can't tell you how much I don't like making these videos, but I'm going to reiterate, I fucking hate making these types of videos. They are not monetized because I don't want to monetize off drama. There you go. Saturday morning, Worlds. I had to bring this video out before Worlds because I knew the World stream would be a shit show with people asking me constantly about this kind of stuff. So there you go. There's the video. It's out of the way. We're going to go back to entertainment Rye. No more depressing Rye. No more of this whack drama. And in the future, I will try my best to avoid getting into these situations to begin with. And if I get into these situations, hopefully we can avoid them from becoming big enough where I have to make a response to the point where people will actually listen to me. So there you go. I love you guys deeply. Until the next video, peace out.